Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day. So for today's video I'm going to be testing the EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. Now I didn't think that you could get this in the UK, but today I was in Boots and I came across a little stand of it. It was only £12.50, so I thought there and then I will just grab it while it's here. In this bottle you get 30 mils or 1 fluid ounce. It is made in Italy. I am in the shade 1.0. This is the shade that best matched me when I was in the shop, so I'm hoping it will work out. I'm just going to read the back of the bottle. It says it's skin-like pigments, even out complexion, for perfect coverage that is almost invisible. Oil and fragrance free, non-pore clogging. I did a little bit of research online about it and it says it is made by a biochemist who wanted to make foundations for people with yellow undertones, because there isn't very many foundations with yellow undertones. It is cruelty free, and it also said that all of its products from EX1 except their concealer is actually vegan. So, and it says it gives a lightweight illuminating base. So there was a lot of hype quite a while ago about this foundation on YouTube that I noticed. Quite a lot of people tested it and really liked it, etc. I've wanted to get my hands on it for absolutely ages and I wasn't able to, and then I found it today in Boots, so we're gonna try it out. Woo! So I would really appreciate it if you liked the video, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to see how it looks on the skin, then keep on watching. Now if you think my skin is looking kind of red and blotchy, I have just wiped off all of my makeup that I've been wearing today with a makeup wipe, and my face always goes a little bit red and irritated when I do that, so after a while it will calm down a bit. So I am going to prime my skin. I feel like I do want to give it a fair shot. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the Benefit Professional in the T-zone, and I have this new Makeup Forever Radiant Primer that I haven't actually used yet, and I'm going to put that on my cheeks and everywhere else that I haven't put the Professional. So just a little background on my skin really quick. Around my nose and on these bits of parts here of my cheeks I do have quite enlarged pores, and sometimes foundation can sink in and really exaggerate my pores, so that's one thing I'm going to be looking out for. And also under my eyes I have quite creased under eyes. They always crease, I can't do anything about it. I cream them and everything, but they still crease, so that's another thing I'm going to be looking out for, is if it sinks into fine lines and things. And especially here around my mouth as well, sometimes foundation leaves lines there too, so that's another thing I'm going to be looking out for. It didn't say anything on the website about its coverage that I could see. I do have some blemishes down here on the sides of my cheeks, just here and on in between my eyebrows, so I'm also going to be looking to see how well it covers those up. I think what I'm going to do is this half I'm going to be using my sponge from Real Techniques. On this side I'm going to be using my flat top brush by BH Cosmetics. This is the BH Studio Pro number 4 brush. It's just like a flat, densely packed brush. It's really good for packing on and blending out foundations. So I'm going to do this side beauty sponge, this side brush, see which one looks better. Without further ado, let's just do it. Let's just get on with it. Stop rambling. Give it a quick shake just in case. Make sure it's all mixed together and nice. So it's a nice pump. I love the colour, nice rose gold colour, and it's got a nice pump here as well. Ignore this big scratch on my hand here. I did it the other day and I have absolutely no idea how I did it. It just appeared, so just ignore that. I'm just going to pump my foundation over the top. That's what it looks like. Nice mess free. It's kind of thick feeling. It looks kind of thick. So I think first I'm going to do brush size. So I'm just going to go in and apply it. So this is one coat using my brush of the foundation. It's quite a good match with my skin. I've not actually blended it down to my neck, so it's actually quite a good match. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. It did feel quite thick when I pumped it out and as I was applying it, but once I buffed it out, it kind of sheared out a little bit. It's dried down to be like a semi-matte finish. It dried down quite quickly, but not to the point where it was dry and then you couldn't buff it out anymore. It's quite easy to work with actually. It looks very natural. It hasn't really exaggerated my pores either, and it doesn't look too bad under my eyes here, although it's not really covered much. You can still see my dark circles, you can still see my little red cheeks and like some red spots and things. So I think we're gonna let this side settle and do this side with the sponge and see what this looks like, and then we will do it again and add a second layer. Again, this was one whole pump just on this half of my face using the brush, so I'm hoping that the sponge will go a little bit further. So just exactly the same, just dipping it in with the sponge. So this is what this half looks like using the sponge. It sort of looks like it's given it a slightly more coverage using the sponge. Like this cheek looks a lot more pinkier than this cheek, so I feel like it's covered up the redness a little bit better. I used exactly the same product using the sponge and the brush, so 2 pumps for 1 cover of the face. So a little bit doesn't exactly go a long way. It all depends on what sort of finish you like. If you like this sort of natural skin, really nice, like semi-matte, like almost flawless kind of skin, then you know it's perfect. But if you want a bit more full coverage, you may have to layer it up, and that will involve using 4 pumps. Like, I don't know about that. It's a good job this is only £12.50, it's quite cheap. This side was obviously done first, so this side's less sticky, but this side is a little bit sticky, so it's not fully dried down to be like liquid to powder type thing. It's not fully dry, so I feel like if you put powder and things on top, it will stick to it quite nicely. The nice thing about this as well is it's not actually exaggerated my pores around my nose too much. It actually has like sat on top of them to make them smooth out a little bit more. However, under my eyes, like, I can't get away from it, but under my eyes they have creased. But around my mouth here, it hasn't actually creased yet, so yes. I don't know whether I prefer the sponge side or the brush side more. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another layer on this side with the brush, and then another layer on this side with the sponge. So keeping with brush and sponge, and then see what it looks like once I've layered it and done a second layer. So let's do that. So this is what 2 coats of the foundation look like. I have really bright lights right in front of me, so it's really quite washing me out, but in person it looks exactly the same as my neck. So this must have flashback, because it wouldn't look so white otherwise. Like, in person, my face looks exactly the same colour as my neck, and on camera my neck looks a little bit more tanned and a little bit more darker than what my face looks like. So obviously with bright lights and cameras you will probably get some flashback. I have heard apparently that this foundation does have flashback, so if you're going somewhere with really bright flashing lights, I probably wouldn't recommend wearing this foundation. I've also put some eyebrows on because I felt like I looked a little bit crazy. So when I was applying this foundation for the second time on this side of my face using the brush, I stippled the foundation in and then like tried to buff it in a little bit, and this moved everything underneath what I had just put on. So it started to look really patchy and really horrible and wasn't really buffing in and like stippling on very nice. So then I just decided just to go in with the beauty blender and just blend it out with the beauty blender all over my face, and it's turned out quite nicely. I'm going to zoom you in now so you can get a better look at my skin. Okay, so I look like a vampire, but it's alright. So this is what it looks like. I feel like it has given it a really nice finish. It's semi-matte, so it's not dewy, it's not completely matte so your face looks flat. It has got a little bit of a glow. It did say that it gives a lightweight, luminous liquid base, so it definitely does what it says in the bottle. So I actually really like the finish of this. It does definitely need 2 coats in my opinion to actually cover things up. I feel like once it's got the second coat, it does like turn into a full coverage foundation, so that's really nice. I have a tiny bit of creasing around my mouth. My nose and my pores are nicely covered. They, like, the foundation has just glided over them. Lovely, lovely. With the second coat, it has seemed to have covered all of my spots, so that's really nice. It hasn't, however, covered this little bit of redness that I have here. I think if I went over it again with another layer, then it would be fine, but you know, it's a bit OTT, whatever. I'm not really that bothered about it. My eyes have creased under here and on the top as well, but like I say, I have really wrinkly eyes, so it's bound to happen. I think if I buffed out under my eyes with a little brush and added some powder to it straight away, it wouldn't be so creased, but it doesn't look too bad. It has given me an alright coverage for my bags under my eyes, but I think I would still go in with a bit of concealer and blend it out. So what I'm going to do now is put on the rest of my makeup, like my powder, blush, bronzer, highlighter, etc, and maybe a bit of lips and stuff, and then I'll check back in with you in a minute to let you know how everything sits on the face on top of the foundation. So fingers crossed it's good. Back in a minute. So I finished my makeup. I've done everything except for my eyes, because in a minute I'm going to be filming another video of testing out a new mascara, so I need my eyes to be clean. I think I'm loving this foundation, to be perfectly honest with you. Once I put my powder and like concealer and bronzer and blusher and highlighter and everything on my skin, it seems like it's really dulled down the brightness of the foundation, so it doesn't look like I've got like a white face and like a tanned-ish body. It all sort of like seams into one, if that makes sense. It all flows into one, so it all looks like the same sort of colour, which I really like. I love the finish. I'm going to zoom you in a bit closer so you can see what my skin looks like. So this is what the foundation looks like up close. I look really white, but it's because my light boxes are really bright, so. But this is what it looks like all finished. I'm loving it. I think my skin looks really nice. It looks matte now, but that's only because I put all the powders on and it's really mattified the foundation. I do recommend doing 2 layers because it does make it a bit more full coverage than just doing, you know, 1 layer. But if you want to do 1 layer, then that's completely up to you. It still looks really nice. It hasn't over exaggerated my pores around my nose. The wrinkles under my eyes don't appear to be that bad yet. I have set it down with a bit of powder, so hopefully that will stay looking nice. I don't really have any wrinkles around my mouth, only a little bit, but not too much. You know, it's fine. All the products that I have on my face did layer up really nicely on top of the foundation, so I'm really happy with that. It's covered up all my spots. My face looks flawless. I look really bright and white right now, but that's because I've got such good lighting. I'm really interested to see what this looks like in a couple of hours. I have a combination oily skin, so my T-zone gets a bit oily throughout the day, but my cheeks and that stay quite matte. So I'm interested to see what it looks like in a couple of hours or so. But so far, I'm really liking this foundation, and for such a good price as well. It's only £12.50 and it's quite nice so far. So I'm hoping it stays nice and I'm liking the colour. So overall, I think this is quite a nice foundation. It hasn't exaggerated anything, you know, it's sort of like glazed over everything really nicely. I look really flawless, my skin looks really nice. So far I am loving it. I haven't really got the time to do another check-in, so later on tonight, just before I wash my makeup off, ready to go to bed, I will look at my skin, look at the foundation, write down some quick notes, and then I will write it in the description box below. So if you're interested to see or to read about what this foundation looked like in a couple of hours, then just check the info box, the description box below. My thoughts on everything, on the final verdict, will be down below, so make sure to check it out if you're interested. But yeah, so far so good. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like the video and subscribe, and I would also love to hear what you think of the foundation, so please leave me a comment. I would really love that. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.